Hey, morning guys, very quick one here. Just doing a bit of work on this, on my Marshall. I want to get some new tyres for it at some point, because they are a bit bald. I've got one off. They have Vredestein, which they don't have any tread on to start with, but there's very little tread on them. But what I'm just doing is going through the, it has springs on it, but they're on a central sort of rocker, and I had a feeling they had a bit of play in them when I did the other. Well, some of these, they have grease nipples on, and some of the grease nipples aren't working. I got them out and got the grease nipples working and never took it any further. But what the springs have is these plastic or nylon or something, plastic bush, which, as you can see, well, it's pretty well worn out. The pins are a bit worn. I've got this one. I don't know if you can see, there's a slight edge, and yeah, I've got the grease points working. What I can do with these pins is this hole, if I get the camera pointed in the right direction, I'm only doing this on my phone, the head fits in, so the sort of captive. So what I can do is turn pins so that the worn side is to the top, and then I can get a bit more use out of them. So what I've done is drilled another hole for grease on bottom so that it gets grease where it needs grease. And I'm going to try, and I'm thinking Alkathene, if I can get a piece of Alkathene that fits this pin and fits into there, just to bush it, because it's obviously, well, they're just plastic bushes, and you can get them, but I think I'd rather do it the cheap way for now. And I'm just going to swap them. If I can make something to make a bush, I'm just going to swap out bushes, just to take a bit of the play out. I think it sort of twists and tracks a little bit funny sometimes, especially, well, when you go around corners with these twin axles, it doesn't half well, scrub and sort of twist, and it creaks and it groans. But I'm going to try and just get a bit of the play out. It might slow the tyre wear down a little bit. Yeah, this trailer has had, you can see the rear axle's green painted and the front axle isn't, so it's had a replacement axle at some point. Whether it's had one put on so it could have brakes on both axles, because it is quite an old trailer, it's 2003, and I'm wondering if they needed to put the extra set of brakes on it at some point, because it's a fresh pipe as well. But an interesting thing about these axles is, one, I think the front one is ever so slightly narrower than the back one. It's a shorter axle, which is a bit odd. But it tracks alright, so, and hopefully if I get something to make these bushes, I should be able to re-bush it all and it'll be pretty good then. I'm debating whether to suspend the total trailer and take this actual rocking piece off. It's another big nut down there, because I think there'll be like a steel bush, or a what they're called, glacier bush, like copper and bronze or brass bush in there, and that might be quite a bit, because the tighter this is, the tighter sort of the axles are, and the straighter it should pull and everything like that. Not that you don't notice anything, but you just, if you ever have it tipped up like this and sort of reverse around a corner or anything, or you see it going around the corner, the axles don't half sort of move around a lot. Anyway, I'm going to stop neutering on and see if I can make a bush for that. Right, so we're a bit further along with this. I've got the rocker piece off, as you can see, on the two spring ends. I was well surprised that these bushes are plastic. The bushes, well, this one's out of there, and they've actually worn right through. Now, it's not, well, I can get some, well, you can get a dead replacement for that from Marshall's website, and something like £15 each, and they're only plastic. I can't understand why they're plastic, me, but anyway, in the mean, temporarily, at this side at least, just to put the trailer back together, I've done, this is the pin that goes through. I've got a piece of it's plated, and it's not stainless, but it's plated, and then a piece of copper, and I've obviously Obviously I've had to split the copper to get it around the pipe, but I've got my Helfort grease to come out of, and it's pretty tight, a lot tighter than the plastic bushings would be. But in the what I'm going to do is order some, I think they call it slintered bronze bushings for it, and put them in at some point when I get them. But yeah, I'm quite surprised, even that big middle pin, which is that pin there, they're just plastic. Can't understand that. You would think for like a, well, it's an 8.5 ton trailer, you'd think they'd be going with steel, well, not steel, but something a bit better than just some plastic. But I don't know if anyone knows why the plastic. It maybe doesn't wear as quick as steel, or I don't know, it gives it a bit of give or something. But these aren't bad. I might see if I can get a replacement for them in probably slintered bronze or something equivalent. But yeah, if anyone knows why the plastic, let me know. I can't understand it myself. You'd think it seems a bit daft. Anyway, I'm clean it all up, measure them all, and then if I can order a full set, I'll order a full set. Not from Marshalls though, because I don't want plastic ones. There's a pretty good website, it's Bearing Shop UK, and I've had all sorts from them, mainly bushes for loaders and such like. And as long as you know what size you want, you can go through a website and find them. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it back together temporarily, order them parts, and then I'll swap them all out. It's interesting, this trailer is supposed to be a 2003, but looking at Marshall's website, they changed the suspension in 2005 to this type of suspension, with this piece in particular. See, that's a cast piece, and the older suspension, it was a fabricated piece, like a piece of box section, which is interesting. So this trailer might well is either not 2003 or it's a 2003 body on a newer chassis, which is interesting, because it was a bit odd with front axle being a replacement one. But I wonder if it's had a bit of a rebuild or a, I don't know, suspension upgrade or something. Anyway, I'm gonna put it back together. Well, I'm gonna measure it, put it back together, and then see if I can order some bits this week and hopefully get it all sorted. Because there was, well, I mean, that bush came out of there, and as you can see, it's well and truly knackered. It's actually started to just wear the bottom of the spring, but I think I'll get away with it. It's not got to be perfect, it's just got to be better than it was. So yeah, there's this side, and obviously there's the other side, which I've left together. I'll get all the parts I think I need, and then take it apart again and put them in, and hopefully then I should be able to well, think about getting some new tyres for it, and then it should be ready to go. I still need to paint underneath. You can see I've got to here with paint, and got rather pissed off with the job because all rust to chip off. Anyway, I need to do that at some point. But right, I'm gonna stop babbling and get it put back together. Right, cheers for watching. Bye.